Welcome to the Untrapped podcast, where we give motivational and inspirational tips about life, small business, wisdom,
health, wealth, finance, relationships.
It's about being the best you that you can possibly be. Hashtag Untrapped. Welcome to the Untrapped podcast. I am your host, Keith Kalfas.
Every single successful person I know has had a period in their life where they've gone through tremendous trials and tribulations, especially in getting their business off the ground. But I want to talk about the dark night of the soul, and I'm forever fascinated by this. It's a period of your life where no matter how hard you try and no matter what you do, everything keeps going wrong, and catastrophic things, heartbreaks, losses, breakdowns, failures, setbacks, unexpected turmoil, things happen in your life. And it keeps happening until it squeezes you down to a point off the shoestring, like squeezing through the eye of a needle, and you're being crucified by fire. And I think it's especially more challenging with social media today, how you might be going through a really hard time, and then you just turn on Instagram or YouTube and you see somebody else who's crushing it, who everything seems to be turning out great for. Oh, look at this, dog. I just did this. I got this new truck. My business is growing. I just got this. And everything is going right for them. And it can be so incredibly discouraging to you, where you can actually start to feel like a failure. And the spirit of discouragement will come upon you, and it will rip you apart. And it's not fun. And I know people who are watching here, whether to admit it or not, have been through this. But the very same people, if they haven't gone through it, they will. Or they've already gone through all that and they just don't talk about it. They don't talk about the devastation that they've been through. They eat humble pie for a long time. And the way I look at it is like, everybody has a cross to bear. You got to pick up your cross. I'm not trying to be religious or anything. It's just a good metaphor. And the longer in life that you resist picking up your cross, is you're actually putting that on other people and making other people suffer, right? Especially sometimes if you have an addiction that's hurting other people, or maybe you just don't want to face responsibility, and now other people are constantly having to pick up the pieces they run to save you. I have a friend, I won't say the friend's name, but this friend went through absolute hell for a long time. And I can't even get into the details, but it seemed to go on for years and years and years and years. And this very same friend, who I love this friend very much, over the past 6 months of this year, everything has been going very well for this friend, and things are literally just showing up and attracting into this person's life, and their business is like amazing now. And I'm so happy and proud of this person. But from the outside, my friend looks very successful now, but you don't know, dude, he went through some dark times, and I have too, and I think that we all do. So I know somebody who's going through the dark night of the soul, and they're significantly younger than me. And I said to them, imagine with what you're going through right now, imagine if this keeps happening to you, this bad thing that just happened, and it keeps happening, and every time you barely get your act together, another thing keeps blindsiding you and sideswiping you, and this happens literally for a decade, and one day you wake up and you're 30, and then it takes you another 5 years just to get your act together to the point where you have stability in your life. And I looked at him, I go, welcome to my life. My life was a living hell. But the one thing I didn't see was there's part of our consciousness that if you stick your head in the sand, it's not going to get better until you take full responsibility and pick up your cross. And if you blame other people, it'll never get better. So I think if you have something that needs to change, pull the thorn out and change it. If there's a relationship that you just need to get out of, and you know for a fact you're not supposed to be in that relationship, speed up the process, or pray, or do anything you can, even if you don't have the power, to get out of it. If there's a job you're in that you actually absolutely hate and you're miserable and it's dragging you down, find a way to get out of it. If you have a loved one in your life, it could be even a parent who drags you down, who's very manipulative and who guilt trips you and puts you in anxiety, and you can't even communicate with them because they cut you down because they're miserable with their life. You have to spend less time with that person, and you have to develop healthy boundaries and not put up with that person's bullshit anymore, or you'll continue the suffering and the swirl and the cycle. And I think that's what's part of growing up. Last night, I was laying in bed next to my wife going to sleep. It was late. I woke up at actually 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up every morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was having a funny dream, and I said to my wife, I have a grandmother who's in the nursing home, and I love my grandma. I started laughing because my grandma had been through so much stuff in her life, and they'd been through the depression and stuff like that. She raised 5 kids. One of them was my mother, and my mom died of a drug overdose. But my grandma was so strong that if you asked her a question or wanted something from her or a favor, she would just go. She'd be sitting at the table smoking a cigarette, doing a Sudoku and a crossword puzzle. This is my grandma, right? And the cat's sitting there meowing. Grandma, this, and this. She would just go, no. And you just knew by the vibration of her voice, you're not going to get anywhere, and no means no. And she had no residue. It's the ability to hear no and speak no with no residue. When you can get to the point, because you've been through so much crap in your life, and this will help you along so much faster. When you can hear the word no, or you can tell somebody no, and there's no guilt, no shame, no residue, no, then you can start to piece out where these boundaries are, and then get it together that much faster. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey talks about this. And, I read that book. I worked at a crappy collision shop for $9.50 an hour at 25 years old. I had a car that kept breaking down, and I was $9.50 an hour. I was going to this collision shop for like 50 hours a week. I was miserable. I would sneak in the bathroom like I was using the bathroom, and I would read this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And this helped me the most. The biggest takeaway from that book is he said, in life, you have a circle of influence, the things that you can control. And then outside of that circle is everything you cannot control, right? And all these things are weighing on you. And the cold hard truth is if you focus on the things and obsess over the things that you can't control, which means other people as well, then your real circle of influence, what you can control, gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller because you're not focusing on it. And then you literally paint yourself into a corner in your life where now you're paralyzed and trapped with no options, and you can't do anything. You become a person who's immobilized and in terror and fear and anxiety with no options to do anything. No options could be no relationships, no bandwidth, no cash flow. So at some point, you say that person's problem is their problem. I got to focus on my shit right now. Hey, I know you're going to tell me all your drama right now, but I don't have time for it. I got my own problems. I love you, but I got to go. Click. When you focus on your shit and you take care of yourself and your immediate family and what you have to do, then in your business, your circle of influence grows and expands, right? And I think that's how it works. So pick up your cross. Let them put the nails in. Stand it up tall. Let the sun just crucify your flesh off. And you'll be crucified by fire, man. You get it all back. I always think about my video, and I'll put a link in the description below called Walk the Line. If you're going through a hard time, walk the line. You walk that line. You keep walking that line. But it's so hard. It's so hard. You keep walking the line. You know why? Because there's a you that's on the other side, way down there. The future you who's successful and happy, proud, all your self-worth and integrity is intact, and you have a beautiful life, the life that you've always dreamed of, is all the way up here in the future you, because time doesn't exist, right? We're in a time-space continuum. It doesn't even exist. The future you is looking at you walking the line, rooting you on, saying, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Good man, good man, good man. No, don't step off the line. Don't step off the line. Don't do it. Don't do it. Good man. Stay on the line. No, why are you going down that path? What are you doing? Why are you letting that person take advantage of you? Why are you doing that? And the future you is crying out and trying to throw you a rope. Dude, you are the shit. Your life is going to turn out amazing. Your dreams are going to come true. You're going to have everything you ever wanted. If you're saving up to get that girl a ring that you love so much, you're going to get it, dude. And you got to pay for the wedding. You're going to have everything you want one day. You're going to have a fully established, structured business. You're going to have money in the bank. You're going to have a house. You're going to be on your boat one day. It might even be a little boat, but you're going to be on the boat and the sun's going to hit you just right. And you're just going to break down crying because it all came together for you and it all happened for you. But you got to go all the way back in the past to where you're at right now. You got to just keep walking that line. Oh, shit, dog. I gotta walk the line. All right, I got to get back to this. I just left them all just working on the job site. I wonder what they think when the boss just literally just walks away videotaping himself. I got the best crew that I've ever had, ever, this year. So there's 4 of us. I'm thinking about launching a second truck again. I got 2 trucks and 2 trailers. I've had some bad experience with letting people drive my trucks, and it scared the shit out of me. And now, and that's my phobia, right? Just I don't trust anybody. So I got a secretary. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 of us, and then in my internet business, I have 4 virtual assistants, and they're all part-time. And then Jill's office is a calling center. They answer the phones, and then literally that's just part-time whenever I'm too busy and I can't pick up the phone. I'm trying to keep the cost down and be as efficient as possible. Selling jobs at higher prices, booking a lunch, packing a lunch every day. Money in the bank, money in the bank, money in the bank. All right, man. Later, guys. It's all you.